Egunon, Egunon, buenos dias, good morning, everybody. If you can start taking your seats, please join us in the main auditorium. Ahí no se oye, ¿no? Please take your seats and join us. Ahora me lo apagar. Me lo apagas. Egunon netangi etitori. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back for day 2 of South Summit Industry and Energy. Maybe leave one of the doors open a few minutes just to encourage people to continue to join us as they're grabbing their coffee. Folks, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here yesterday. We hope you have found it fruitful. This really is a pretty exciting context to build connections, build partnerships, and do business. This is why we're here, to accelerate this ecosystem and this community to address some of the greatest challenges facing us. And the good news is, enormous market opportunities. And this is why we're here. I'm very excited to introduce our opening speaker today. We have made a seismic shift at South Summit in recent years in moving our focus towards the opportunity around transforming the economy towards a net zero. We really don't have a lot of other options, and we might be moving fast in certain areas and moving extremely slow in others, which can be quite frustrating, but we see the future economic output as a critical part of the entrepreneurial ecosystem. We truly believe there's no getting to that tomorrow without the entrepreneurial ecosystem and the disruptive innovation that comes out of this sector. And the good news is we know how to disrupt and we know how to scale, so we really understand in implementing some of these technologies and solutions once we can get them out of the box and into the market. And more than ever, we believe that energy transition in particular and everything related to climate tech needs ecosystem more than ever. You might have run fast and broken things in the past, but I think today you need a lot more collaboration and working together and kind of everybody pulling in the same direction, be it institutions, regulation, government, investors, corporates, of course, and of course the entrepreneurs at the core. So this is why we're so thrilled to be here in Bilbao with this vertical for the last 3 years. Now this is our 3rd edition. And of course, why we're absolutely thrilled to have with us this morning SET Ventures. So a leading climate tech fund investing in the space since about 2007. So an absolute pioneer in the space with a breadth of experience. So feel free to reach out to them as well. I hope Anton will be with us for the morning. And to get their insight and understanding of the market opportunity related to this challenge, please help me in giving a big warm welcome to Managing Partner at SET Ventures, Anton Arts. Welcome, Anton. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. My name is Anton Arts, and I'm a managing partner at SET Ventures. It's great to be in Bilbao, among people with the same ideas, with the same beliefs. The belief that it will be possible to create an energy system that will be carbon-free. Because we're going to have a lot of change. Climate and energy are top of mind. And you know this debate has many different aspects. And what I want to talk to you about is really where we see this world going. And this is a positive message. Because there is not only a climate problem, but also a climate opportunity. Did you give me a clicker?
Apologies. Here. Oh, there we go. Green, I guess. Green?
Yes. So, where do we start? I want to remind you that even though climate touches every aspect of our lives, energy really sits at the core. Because 75% of global emissions are related directly or indirectly to how we generate energy. But what we've been seeing in the years since is really that we're seeing a massive shift in the cost structure of renewable energies. 20 years ago, renewables weren't even on the radar. Today, they are absolutely competitive with fossil. And the learning curve is only going to get faster. If you own a fossil power plant, this picture is not the picture you want to look at. So how does that look at a bigger scale? You can see that in the years that lie behind us, this line almost didn't get up. but we've passed a tipping point of acceleration, whereby wind and solar are really taking off and will be driving the energy system of the future. So this is not a linear shift. It really requires a full transformation of the energy system. And at SET, we've made that our mission, to invest in the entrepreneurs that apply digital technologies to create the energy system of the future. And why have we picked this mission? It's basically based on three core beliefs. The first belief is that the world will have to change. And that is not an ideological perspective, it's an economic perspective. The second part is that we don't think that it requires inventing many new technologies. It actually requires scaling up what is available today and bringing that to market through the right business models and applications. And thirdly, we believe that digital technologies will play a key role in that, because it is all about how do we control that energy system. So it's not about who owns the physical assets, but who will be able to orchestrate all of that. Because just generating cheap energy is not enough. You can't put a wind turbine in your factory. You need many other things. You need storage, you need efficiency, you need an ability to control all of that. And so the world needs solutions that bring this together for the ultimate users. So SET has been in this market since 2007. We were one of the early pioneers of Cleantech 1.0. We've lived through the years of how to digitalize the utility industry, and increasingly come to the realization that the energy system of the future is not the domain of energy companies, it's the domain of all of us. And the question is, how do we all get connected to that energy system of the future? So we have been investing since 2007 in every aspect of that problem. How do we build distributed energy systems? In the past, energy companies had 10 power plants. Now they will have 10,000. In the future, they will have 10 million. How do you control? How do you optimize? The built environment, how do you change how we think about energy use in houses, offices, factories? Industrial energy management. And so we bring that together in digital solutions for a carbon-free energy system. So I often get the question, well, what will be the winning technology? How will we get to this carbon-free future? And to us, the answer is not one technology. It's not a silver bullet that will save us. Yes, maybe there will be nuclear fusion someday in the future. But to us, the answer is not in a technology, but it's really in how we organize the energy system. And what we're seeing is the evolution of how energy markets play a role. Because markets send economic signals to every participant. And if we've learned anything from the energy crisis, it's that people do respond to price signals. They will start to reduce. They will start to invest. They will start to change how they think about their energy consumption. And so we believe that this whole transformation of the energy system to a dynamic system is actually at the core of this transformation, because it will start to give participants at every level of that system the right incentives to take action. So what does that mean? We read a lot about negative energy prices, volatility increasing, but it's good to think about the fact that that is not a bug, it's a feature. Because if volatility goes up, your rewards for being flexible also go up. So let me explain what's on these graphs here. On the left-hand side, you see the number of days, actually the number of hours with negative energy prices in the German system. And you see year by year that number goes up. But if you then look at the daily price curve of energy, you see that cheap energy gets cheaper, expensive energy gets more expensive. And so if you look at this picture as an opportunity, it means that the rewards, for instance, for increasing your energy consumption when it's cheap go up, and the savings for reducing your energy when it's expensive also go up. And this picture is at the core of the opportunity for all the companies that we see in this value chain of taking an innovative and a transformative role. So maybe the picture I was just drawing would only appeal to energy geeks. And the real question is, is any one of you really motivated to become a full-time energy manager of his house, sitting there to press a button when that price graph hits zero? And I think the answer is no. Beyond a few innovators, this is not an appealing picture for most of us. But we think it's the backdrop for how we can create opportunity for change. And in our mind, there are three imperatives to move this forward. And these are the areas where we, as investors, are looking for opportunity. So the first is deep decentralization. We need more local, self-contained systems because we cannot build the grid at the rate we want to electrify. The second part of this is that it has to be automated. Duh. And it means we will need algorithms, we will need AI, but in particular, we will need to innovate a lot around the user experience of limiting the amount of interaction that is needed to make all of this work. And finally, it has to be robust and resilient, because all of us are used to that if you flick the power switch, the light goes on. And it's clear that we cannot build an energy system of the future where that is no longer the case. So let me walk you through those aspects in a little bit more detail. So what is deep decentralization? Well, it's clear that the energy system of the future will need to be decentralized. We used to have one power plant, 1 million users, and a grid to connect them, and a one-way power flow. The energy system of the future will need lots of distributed assets. Solar panels, wind turbines, batteries, heat pumps, electrical cars, and they will need to interact. And you cannot build that interaction if everything has to be controlled centrally. So there is a real opportunity to push technology and complexity behind the meter to make houses, buildings, industrial parks autonomous, in which the local generation, the local consumption, the local storage are aligned, alleviating some of the pressure that we have on building enough grid capacity in order to actually make this work. And For instance, our portfolio companies, Frequenz and Tibo, are two examples of companies who are working on this. Frequenz is a German company that works with some of Germany's largest industrial companies to install energy assets on their sites and to integrate those in how they run their energy balance. And what's important is this is not for their impact report. It is to reduce their energy bills, to make energy economical, even in Western Europe, by applying renewables as a way to reduce your energy bills. And there is a significant change in the rate of adoption when you can present 20-30% energy cost reduction through the right investments. The second part is the automation. The simple example is, of course, you have a battery, charge it when the energy is cheap, discharge it when the energy is expensive. But actually, that is only one use case. There are so many opportunities to start participating in grid markets, to start selling energy to other people. And what is clear is that this element of flexibility is very fundamental to how people think about their energy bills. In the past, people would just buy a solar panel. But once you start to see that it makes a lot more sense to consume the power you've generated yourself, or to choose when you want to export that power, storage assets start to make sense. And we've seen so many different models of how this will apply. And this is not so much about technical innovation. We are not looking for the innovators that work on a new battery material that will extend how much you can charge. But we are looking for the companies that create the business models around those batteries, that find ways to tap into the market, to appeal to business users, to appeal to consumers. And so this is much more about business model innovation than it is about technology innovation. And this is where AI starts playing a role, and where it becomes interesting about, how do you differentiate in this market? Do you differentiate on the quality of your algorithms? And if that's what you think you're innovating, actually, how do you prove that? And we're in this fascinating time where entrepreneurs across Europe have started to grab this opportunity of energy system flexibility and have started to innovate around it. And this area is actually one of the sectors where we're seeing our highest rate of new business plan, and we find it a super exciting space. And to give you a couple of examples from our own portfolio, Hydrogrid is a company that is providing an autopilot for hydro energy. Because in the past, people used to build a dam and let it run. But if you start optimizing your asset on the basis of weather forecast, on the basis of energy market forecast, suddenly you start to see many new revenue opportunities. Velisto is another example where they're applying self-learning thermostats to improve the heating in commercial buildings. It's as simple as just swapping out the thermostats in the building, and suddenly your heating system will self-adjust to how you are using each room and optimize automatically. We think automation is key to reducing friction, to making sure that not all of us need to become energy traders or monitors, and we think there is room for tremendous innovation. And then finally, the key is to make it robust and secure. As I said, we're all used to making sure that when you want energy, it's there. And as entrepreneurs, we have to think about, how can we assure that even when, for instance, your home energy system in the future consists of 10 different parts that need to work together, how can we guarantee that they will? It's an integration challenge. It's a standardization challenge. It's a user interface challenge. It's a cybersecurity challenge. And I think it's good to see that each of these challenges represents an opportunity for entrepreneurs to come up with new solutions, to come up with new approaches. And all of these will help to make sure that in the future, consumers will be able to rely on this. In Madrid, Green Eagle Solutions is supporting the management of over 15 gigawatt of renewable assets across Southern Europe, and is playing a hugely important role in making sure that all of those assets are connected and respond in the right way to signals from the grid. And SensorFact is an example of a company that is helping thousands of SME companies to improve their energy efficiency and to reduce their energy bills. So the clicker decided to stop at the last slide. There it is. So this is a big problem. And my message to you is, we need to work on this together, because it's not obvious what solutions will work. You have to go out and build, and there is risk involved. But I believe that us working together with entrepreneurs can scale these challenges. And my key message is we're here to do that together with you. And I would love to hear from you if you're working in this space and are looking for a good investor. Thank you.
Amazing, Anton. Thank you so much. Excellent. Thank you. Thanks, folks. What a treat to get it from, I suppose, the lion's den in terms of what's going on in the industry. And I love the kind of simplification of putting it into those 3 blocks that we can all identify and kind of relate to in terms of defining this opportunity in the market. So thank you so much for that, Anton, and feel free to grab him during the breaks a little bit later on, because you're not going to want to miss our next conversation. Our next conversation is led by a world-renowned open innovation expert, a lady that I've had the privilege and pleasure to know and work with. The power of ecosystem obviously is something that we're looking at in depth over these 2 days. Particularly in this space, we believe the power of the ecosystem is critical to get these solutions into market and to scale them up as fast as we need to. And without those partnerships and collaborations, we don't believe that's possible. If you have the technology and the disruption, you can't get it out between us, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So we believe that both sides are equally as important to have a successful transition to a net zero economy. So join me in with a warm welcome to the stage, please, for Marisol Menendez, who's going to facilitate this conversation, co-founder and CEO at Bilakatu, Carlos Chukowski, co-founder and CEO at Qcentroid, Nerea Martinard, my God, you're going to do it much better, Nerea, than I am, General Director Atlantic, and Roberto Gomez, Open Innovation at Moeve. Perdona, Nerea. Thanks, folks. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
We have good names for a panel introduction, eh? We throw them to everyone. So hello, everyone. It's always a great honor and joy to have everyone visiting us in Bilbao. This is a beautiful space. Don't you like this auditorium? It's amazing, no?
Yeah.
I'm so happy to have you here. So this is the first element of my joy today. The second element for my joy today is because I'm among friends today. We will talk more about this, and of course, because of the importance and the context of the conversation, which will be very interesting. Thank you for the introduction, also, Liz. And well, my name is Marisol Menendez, and my world is about open innovation and collaboration. So we will sprinkle that in within this conversation related to energy transition through open innovation. First of all, I would like to do a quick round of introduction, because for me it's important for everyone to get to learn who is here, not only because of the company you represent, but also because of your trajectories, because all of you have very interesting trajectories. So let's begin first things first. Carlos K., how are you today?
Very well. Happy to be
Welcome.
here.
Please, let everyone know a little bit more about you.
Well, I'm Carlos Kuskowski. My background is computer engineering. I always say with proud that I started as a mobile game developer, and I have the privilege to have experience working also with good colleagues, with you, Marisol, and Roberto in past corporates. But my passion is to combine science, technology, and data to try to solve the biggest problems of the humanity and society, meanwhile making businesses. So I love to connect this part. Now, in Qcentroid, what we are trying is to help with advanced computing and quantum to try to solve the challenges of adopting and solving the big problems in energy and other industries like finance.
It's a concrete problem. Solving problems in energy, no, it's very good. With quantum, very interesting. We will dig a little bit deeper into that. And please introduce yourself. Welcome. How are you today?
Thank you, Marisol, and happy to join you in this chat. It's going to be short anyway, we know it. It usually happens.
Sweet and short,
yeah.
It's good.
So I'm Nerea Martiartu, I'm the CEO of Lantic. Lantic is a publicly held private company, and we provide integrated IT services for the government, from tax to mobility, to social services, to emergency, to waste management, to road systems, and so on. So we have an interesting vision of different industries apart from the classical administration that we usually match with the so-called public sector. My background, I studied, it's a little bit messed up background. I studied my studies in aeronautics engineering, which
Wow.
most of the people don't know. I didn't have the passion, not the passion, I didn't have the patience probably at that time, and I dropped, which
Similar
sometimes I regret today, because I still like the sector and the activities. And I went into law and business.
Wow.
So I think it's a big shift. But I've always been very connected to IT, to technology, and with that engineering vision in mind. That was many, many years ago. Then I've developed my career in strategic consulting, Big Four environment. And then the government gave me a call, and they told me if I wanted to join this project for a while. So I decided to jump in, and I'm here today.
That's marvelous.
So
and you know, in the open innovation world, we love the combination of different skills, because this is where we create new opportunities, so it's colorful, interesting, and deep. Congratulations. Thank you very much for being here today. And Roberto, now it's your turn.
Thank you, Marisol. A pleasure to be here today. And yeah, I'm Roberto Gomez. I'm part of the Open Innovation team at Moeve, previously known as CEPSA. I guess you are all aware of the change, but just in case. And yeah, before I joined the company like 6 months ago already. Actually, my first day was in the South Summit in Madrid. So interesting, first day at the office. And yeah, before joining Moeve, CEPSA at that time, I had a mix of background. I've worked for startups. I've been an entrepreneur myself, and unsuccessful one, of course. If not, I wouldn't be here. I would be investing, I guess. And I've been a C-level for some scale-ups as well. And also in the dark world, in the cooperative world, I've worked for companies like Elewith from Red Electrica, for Google for Startups, or for BBVA when I had the chance not only to meet Carlos, but also to work with Marisol. And I have to say that Marisol was my first boss, my first manager in the Open Innovation team. Yeah, like me. And so
And he's alive. He's alive.
Yeah, I'm alive. So I learned a lot about her. So a pleasure to be here 10 years later, actually.
10 years later. And you know, it's so interesting to be talking today because we have a combination of perspectives that I think it's a good mix to open the conversation about the energy challenges. First, we have deep technology knowledge. No, we are going into something very specific. We have also the transversal connection among different skills with the interaction with government and big players. And then we have the corporate perspective in the energy world. I think these are very good ingredients, also with your own backgrounds who are very rich, for us to open this conversation. No? I think these couple of days we've been discussing about the great challenges, but maybe this is a good place to start. In your own experience, and maybe we can begin with Roberto, we can bring forward what are the challenges in the energy and how you are facing them in your own roles and your own companies.
Yeah, I think we all share some challenges that are actually not local, are global for everyone. But especially, for example, in our case at Moef, we are in the middle of a profound transformation of the company. It's not only in terms of the naming and the brand of the company, but in a profound transformation. We want to be leaders in sustainable energy and sustainable mobility, focusing on green molecules, in hydrogen and biofuels. So for us, actually, technologies like quantum are going to be very important, are going to have a crucial role, AI as well, in order to help in this purpose of decarbonization of all our, not only our activity, but also the activity of our clients, of our employees and everything. So for us, it's going to be something very important to focus on any opportunity in the open innovation ecosystem to collaborate with other companies and help us in this transformation, not only of our company, but the whole industry. So we are working actually in the digital team, which we belong to in the open innovation team with technologies like AI, but also blockchain, and quantum is going to be one of them. Actually, not only as quantum itself, but also as an accelerator for exponential innovation for AI, for example, in terms of algorithms and these kind of things.
Interesting. So what you're saying is, in the corporation, we are living this great transformation, collaborating with others to make it happen, and not only in the energy side, but also in the digital side, no, to be able to get to rhythm with this. How do you live it in your day-to-day?
I mean, I like to divide our vision in 3 different layers. We have a first layer, us as energy users or consumers. Actually, not only the government, but Atlantic itself, because we have our own data centers, and we also use cloud services. And that's a big issue for us at the moment because we are immersed in the definition of a sustainability plan, which is very focused on energy consumption reduction. But at the same time, with the incorporation of AI and digitization more extensively, we are in an unbalanced situation because we are taking action in reducing our footprint, but at the same time, we are increasing it. So it's very difficult, and I had a follow-up meeting last week, and I was telling that it's a little bit hard, because stopping would be the place to be, to make it happen quickly, but that's impossible. That's not realistic. So everything I do from one side, I lose at the other side at the same time. So data center optimization and other kind of computing models, we should explore that path.
Because they are very energy intensive,
yeah,
no? Mm-hmm.
That's it. Then we have a second layer, which is us as government and looking for all the politics that we promote. in terms of clean energy generation or smart grid distribution networks and so on. So at the same time, I mean, we promote those kind of politics, but they come with challenges. Because regarding smart grids, for example, and federated distribution, then, I mean, every time that a new company or a new agency enters the network, it makes it more complex to manage that network. And it will come a moment that the network manager will have to decide who is going to have the energy and who is not going to have the energy at a point, at a peak. So that those optimization challenges are going to be hard to decide. And quantum technologies, I think they are going to be positive for that. And the third layer is that we are very happy to have international leading players locally established. I don't know if I'm okay if I say some names, but like Iberdrola or Petronor, Repsol, among others, and their supply chain in terms of storage cells and so on and so on. So we are also happy from an ecosystem perspective to have them locally established, because we have already started to work on collaborating projects. And actually, not only on classical energy models, but also in new proposals like hydrogen. And actually on Monday, we are having an event on the EIC, which I don't know if you know, the Energy Intelligence Center, which is close to Bilbao, and is focused on hydrogen and quantum. So, I mean, those three layers, I think, I mean, sometimes it's difficult to mix them and to maybe to forget about some of them, but I mean, I like to work on those different layers.
I like a lot from the open innovation perspective that you bring all these layers together, because at the end we are moving from one to another. But it's so interesting that you bring forward the regulator, creating policies helps or hinders the possibility of creating innovation, and it's so important for the dynamics of innovation. Connected also to what big corporations and startups are doing to innovate. It's playing in the context. Also the own technology that you are using for your development, but also collaborating across big players, because we are talking about the big game. I was recently in another conference talking about ecosystems. We were saying that this is a little bit, follows a fractal dynamic. You have the small ecosystem, then the big interconnection, then inter-region, then across countries, and this is working everything at the same time. But we have technology intertwining everything, And thank God we have, I was going to say weird people, but you're not weird. Your company is doing interesting projects, So we have the reality day-to-day, and then the startups who are researching, creating the future at the same time. How do you live the challenges in energy?
Well, when you analyze the challenges in energy, we have in one side the energy ecosystem, in the other side how industries use energy, or also citizens, people. On the other side, in the third part, we need also to solve the climate adaptation and mitigation challenges.
It's very similar to the three layers she was saying,
We work together as an ecosystem. So.
If you go for the first one, energy you need to generate, distribute, and store. So these are big challenges to generate new energy, where current technology don't allow us to exploit all the capacity that we have, and it's where quantum comes. We can create new systems to capture more energy with the air, with the sun, and also create new, not fuel-based system. The storage part is batteries is the main challenge that we have now to store energy. And one of the challenges is we don't understand how batteries work. Quantum computing allows to make simulation about atoms or particles. So it's a big promise how quantum could start making really more efficient batteries. And the third one is the distribution, the grid, how we put different grid parts and how we can distribute in a most optimal way. Is one time quantum current technologies cannot make this, and quantum can do that. The second part is energy consumption, how we use energy. We have the big industries and the big industrial process like cement, fertilizers, and steel that use out of energy. So these are mainly based in catalysis processes, and catalysis processes consume a lot of energy. So these reactions are impossible to analyze properly with the current technology, neither with machine learning. But quantum can simulate this. So we are working, for example, with CERN to analyze how to make with quantum computing and machine learning better catalysis process to reduce energy consumption. This is one example, but the other is in cities, we want to improve the energy consumption of buses or cars. We can manage better optimization scheduling also with quantum that is impossible with classical or machine learning. And the last one is, okay, how we can adapt to the climate change and solve this. One of the big challenges that we have is carbon capture. And we can make it on the air with new materials. And one more time, it's impossible now with our technologies to make this simulation and create this new material with the technology that we have. One more time, quantum could be the key. So you can see quantum technologies not only could accelerate all this part, that also could, as Roberto was explaining, how we can use machine learning that you analyze, and probably you have been reading in the forecasting that in 5 years from now, more than 15% of the energy that we are going to consume is going to be in data center. So we need to make something to make machine learning more efficient. And one more time, this is quantum. So it's deep in all the layers.
Carlos, one question is, or one word that came forward for me is that it could. It could. In which point we are with this?
In the point that we are now is happening. So with the amount of money that is being invested by public institutions, corporates, startups, and scientists, what we are moving is for the promise that it's going to be in 5 years, and we have this in the last 10 years, that is happening now. Now the forecasting is, now we start solving problems with quantum algorithms running over GPUs better than other solutions. We are really close to have quantum computers that create real advantage over the best computer in the world, that I think is in Tokyo. So we are in this part. What is happening is, in the moment that we are following to this part, we are creating a new revolution in algorithms that is helping machine learning and other classical algorithms to improve. And also we have photonic that is similar to quantum. It's not yet quantum, but it's better than what we have now. So it's happening now.
So photonic is the way
Marisol,
to...
if I may add to what Carlos said, I think we have to be now, because otherwise we are not going to be ready when the technology is ready for production. And that, I mean, it is being said that could be 2029, 2030. But if we go to universities or to postgraduate programs, I mean, if we don't start, there's no grades on that. There's no specialization paths to get prepared. Maybe in PhD areas, I mean, there's lots of work done, but not like in the utility part or the impact side. So if we start next year, which is 2026, September 2025, and let's say it's 4-5 years grades, we're going to have like newly graduated people. But that's what we are going to have. So we have to be now, and we have to be quick in understanding the research or the academia, the practitioners, the industry, the engineers, which are in the production area, but they are not in the academia in most of the cases, and those newcomers, which could come from new skilling or from reskilling or...
This is so interesting. In fact, that's maybe what the conversation asks for the last part of it, because we are getting closer to the closure. But being in the context of open innovation, and yesterday we did this, the meeting room building sessions. In the building session I was at, we had one challenge identified, which was, how do we match the present and the future? No, we need to build a path for that, because companies at the end want to open the door every day and and treat their customers right and build and survive. But also we need to build the future. How do we create that combination? I really think it's through collaboration and open innovation. Another ingredient maybe that I drop into the table is the global sustainability goals. said the big challenges that we have as society, one of them being energy. But the interesting thing for me is that this falls under the definition of wicked problems, which are problems that cannot be solved by one organization or one person only and require collaboration. Energy is one of them. An interesting thing is that goal number 17 is collaboration for the goals. So open innovation is there, in my own opinion, in the global sustainability goals. And it's set under a lot of European policies and local policies, and what it's working is like, we need to collaborate because we need to bring forward all these ingredients to make change happen. And finally, that at the end, we need to connect and bring forward all players. So considering all this and everything that you've been discussing, my question would be, who are the players that you are working currently with? And I think you brought forward a very interesting point that we've been living, for example, with AI, no? We were developing AI and there wasn't any career or training programs, and still we are devising those career paths. So right now, what do we need to put forward in the ecosystem? Who are the right collaborators? Who are you working with? And maybe finalize with one call to action, because here we have investors, startups, corporations, even we will have people watching this afterwards, no? So we can do a call to action. Okay. Players, what collaboration do you need for the present and for the future? And a last call to action on your side.
Yeah.
Who wants to begin? Roberto, go ahead.
Okay. I mean, very aligned what my colleagues were saying in the table. I think collaboration is key. I mean, we are talking about open innovation, so it's like the cornerstone, but especially when we are talking about emerging technologies that Carlos was saying, quantum is here, is happening, but maybe the impact is not happening yet, or the full potential of quantum. We are in that process, right? So, but if we want to get to that right momentum, we need the help and the contribution to any stakeholder of the ecosystem, especially to help the startups, entrepreneurs, and the people betting on this technology in this ramp up, right? In this from 0 to 1 of the technology, because it's working. We are seeing that it's working. We are seeing that it's very promising, but maybe actually, for example, from our side on the corporations, it's very possible we are going to be the final customers of the solutions, no? The ones paying for the solutions. So right now, we need to believe and trust on these entrepreneurs to help us see the potential of the technology, although we are not seeing the full potential, but help them to find these right use cases that could become and create the market, because it's something that is making impact in our business, and moving the needle, right? So actually, we are in this path with companies like Carlos, but you also need the support from the financial institutions, public institutions, private institutions, universities, everyone on board, so the technology gets to that momentum, right? So far, we've seen like 3 main benefits, but we are going to keep working on it to see more. But in terms of getting results faster, getting more accurate results, and to be more efficient, very important with what we were saying before about the decarbonization of the whole industry, right? Because of the algorithms and many, many use cases across all the value chain. Just as a call to action, I don't know, for us, we believe that quantum is getting closer. You were talking about, Nerea, about 2030, this kind of horizon. And we believe that quantum is getting closer to this ChatGPT momentum of time. So we need to be ready for that. We need to be a quantum-ready company, and it's not something like you are going to start when everyone is doing it, right? And we have seen that, I guess I read something that only 10% of the companies, like the early adopters, are going to be the ones capturing 90% of the value of quantum. So we want to be in that 10%. So that's why we need to keep collaborating with all the ecosystem players to help the technology in this ramp up, and then to take all the potential and the benefits of it.
I think it's very interesting that we have a sense of urgency for the future, no?
Yeah.
Which is very weird, because usually future doesn't create that sense of
That's
urgency.
our mission in the open innovation teams, right? To think of tomorrow's, not today. That's the business units already doing that.
Totally, totally. Very interesting. And also interesting to create the dynamics. The definition of open innovation says, sorry, I'm in the geeky moment, allow me. It says that is the purposefully created knowledge flows for aligned to the business models, no, to create innovation. And the purpose is shown by putting budget and teams to make it happen. So it's good to hear that companies such as CEPSA is looking into the future and assigning teams, good teams, by the way, to make this happen. Nerea, what about you?
Okay, regarding the ecosystem, what we've been working on through the last years. First, quantum computing providers. And so in Biscay, at this moment, if you are a member of the community, you have access to more than 12 quantum computers with different technologies. So we have signed agreements with Amazon, Microsoft, IBM, D-Wave. We have a call, an open call now for Fujitsu. And so those 12 in different semiconductors, ion, I mean, I'm not a technician myself, so maybe Carlos can help me. Photonics and so on. So that has been a huge work package. I mean, to get them to understand that we wanted to create a market. That's what we are working on. Like through the ecosystem, trying to create, to make it easier to get faster to this market. So that's access. That's access, because it was very difficult, not only for startups, but also for big players to have access to some of these computers. So that's a reality today. Apart from that, you have access to the networks of these quantum computer communities also. We are, for example, a QIC, IBM QIC, Quantum Innovation Center. So we have connections, and that's the other part. The network, the hub networks, the relationship between the different hubs or other initiatives worldwide. For example, we have a very good relationship with Quantum Basel. Last week I was with Quantum Berlin, Quantum Dubai, Abu Dhabi. We have had different conversations with Japan, Korea, and I think this is something that we have to have it clear, that this is an international project. Working nationally doesn't make much sense.
So exciting. It's so exciting.
Then regarding, and now we have in a critical moment, then we have worked with the startups, local and other startups. And then we are working now on leveraging the demand. Because we have, we have worked with big corporates on how to work with a corporate in that quantum journey. Mm-hmm. We have worked with startups, like how to work with a startup to foster that quantum journey. But now we have to build up the matchmaking process to make it click, to make everything click. And so we are in a very delicate moment in our ecosystem. We are preparing a call, an open call, and actually, we are eager to get initiatives from the companies and to have companies applying and with concrete user cases, and we will help them, not with money. That's not our model, but with access and services. Okay, so that's what we have in hands for the 2025 and 2026. That's our milestone and our concrete objective. And then, a call for action. Give me a call. That's my call for action. If anybody is interested in having a chat, knowing a little bit further about what we are doing, what we are offering, what do we need, because we don't have everything in hand at the moment, just give me a call. I'm open in LinkedIn. I always answer. So, just that would be my call for action.
So interesting, because you say only resources and services, and oh my God, that's so much. So it's
Then we
so,
have,
so
I mean,
interesting.
I'm going to talk a little bit, I mean, about the dark side of the reality, and that's the European regulation. But
The European
we have
what?
to be compliant with the European regulation.
Well, but that's
But
Part of the
we'll
game.
try to do our best. Yeah.
no, but that's also interesting, because if you survive European regulation, then you are ready to go global. So it's
Definitely.
you can leverage it as a strength. And Carlos, what about you?
So for me, it's great because we have clear examples how we are collaborating through ecosystem and open innovation. We had the privilege to collaborate and learn and support Mueve in their quantum journey. So we have been working in the last year to define use case with different units, how the open innovation team has been connecting internally, how we are helping to connect externally. And now we are proud to move to the next stage to start working in more and more use case with integration. We are also proud to be part of a really great international ecosystem, like the one that we have here in Bikain. And I say international because we have companies from around the world. We have really top researchers, academia, customer, and also platform. And this allows us to make what we need, that is to collaborate and connect to different partners, the one making the hardware, that is the complex part, making the algorithms, putting the use case, putting the data, putting the integration, and putting the ambition. And it's what we need to make this quantum economy ready as soon as possible. And the call to action is, you need to decide what is the cost of inaction. What happens if you don't start investing in quantum technologies for energy now, if your competitors are doing? And you can see also the opportunity. Probably you will not have other opportunity in your life to enjoy as much, going deep in a technology, and also solving complex problems that was impossible to solve.
This is maybe like offering to buy Bitcoin 10, 15 years ago, no? Well, this is so interesting. We are ready to close, and maybe I want to add a final thought from the open innovation and ecosystem perspective, no? First of all, this is a very, very good example on how the different players are interacting. We also have academia, not only as the researchers, but also the projects that are being fostered also in research centers. And one of the things that I love about the conversation we had today is the evidence that regions are very active in creating this tissue of innovation, like we have here in the Basque region in general, and in Biscay in particular, which is very interesting because you have public dynamics, universities, research centers, and everyone. This is how we create ecosystems. And in Vilacatu, we know that ecosystems are infrastructure for growth. Ecosystems and the deliberate creation of ecosystems is an ingredient for advanced economies to keep growing, because we create new terrains for business and growth. This is what we work in, because we are completely sure that this is the future. By the way, also there's this report published by Innovasc. If you go to Innovasc and look for innovation and ecosystems, we have this report talking about how to build, create, and participate in ecosystems and the local ecosystems, and some other interesting examples there. And we talk about dynamics of open innovation internally in organizations. So please download it. It's free and open for everyone. And let's keep building ecosystems, because this is how we create value together. Thank you very much for the interesting conversation and the openness to growth. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. ¿Qué tal? So good to see you. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us. Every time I come to Bilbao, I am shocked and impressed at. Yesterday we were talking about the density of the ecosystem, but now I see it's the density of the brain power. Like every second person or every single person you meet here is working on something absolutely cutting edge at a global level. So it's really impressive, the ambition and the agility of the ecosystem here. So I think that is a wonderful, wonderful example. We lost Marisol from Madrid to Bilbao, and I'm more and more understanding perhaps why. Folks, we are moving on to our building sessions, okay? Grab a coffee, be really quick, bio break as required, and get into your building session rooms. I will be running the mobility session in room 1, I believe. There's energy in room 2, industry in room 3. And is there something here? Okay, the 3 building session rooms across the hallway. Get there, you've 5 minutes to get there, get installed. Don't miss it. And we'll be back here at 1 o'clock for the closing session. Thank you. Egunon. Ahora sí. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our final closing session. Thank you so much for being here. What an amazing couple of days. Every time I come to Bilbao, I'm always surprised, always pleasantly. And this year for me, we've experienced the density and the quality of the ecosystem. And now for me, it's the density of the brain power. Like every time I meet someone here, they're working on something cutting edge and globally leading. And I find that level of ambition and execution and deep diving into the expertise incredible. And it makes me want to see it again and again and come back for more. So I congratulate everybody here on that. And I hope you've shared and experienced some amazing experiences as well. And just to kind of recap the last 2 days that we've lived, I want to invite on stage the people who've pulled it all together. And without them, it wouldn't have been possible. Joseba from the Diputación de Vizcaya y María Benjumea, presidente de South Summit.
Ponte tú ahí.
Ay, pues nos sentamos.
No, pero que se ponga.
Tú en
Nos
el medio
sentamos.
con nosotras.
Vaya, hombre.
So, guys, thank you so much for pulling us all together, because without partnerships and collaboration and making this happen, we wouldn't all be here. So thank you so much for that. And I find it personally very fruitful and enjoyable year after year. And I hope you guys do too. I've seen everybody working really hard in the building sessions. So thank you. And thank you so much for turning up when I ask you to. So I appreciate that. Joseba, qué maravilla vivir tu ciudad. But we'll do it in English, but it's amazing to be back in Bilbao. And I mean, from being here from the beginning and seeing the evolution of these ecosystems, what are the strengths? What have you identified as the strengths here that Vizcaya and Bilbao has to offer to the world?
It is a good question. Good morning, everybody. It is a good question. You know, it is always it depends on which other regions or which other countries you compare with. In general, I would say that here we have a very high-level quality of life, with a first-class education, with a very well healthcare system, one of the safest territories. I think that we are surrounded by mountains, beaches. I think that we have everything. I think that we are a middle-sized region, so we know each other very well, and I think that it is important. As administration, we try to be quite close to our companies, to our startups, the department, VEA, Seed Capital, Vizcaya Talent, and not only us, the economic promotion department, but also the tax department, who are aware of the problems of the companies, and they try to set policies to improve our economic development. And from the economic point of view, I will tell you that we are an industrial region. The 25%, almost the 25% of our GDP is coming from the industrial sector, with leading companies in energy, in mobility, in steel sector, in aeronautics, in Industry 4.0. We are also an innovative region. I think that we have a benchmark of, I think that we have a network of research, development, and technology centers which are a benchmark in Europe. According to the last regional innovation scoreboard, we are the most innovative region in Spain, 10 points above the average of Europe, ahead countries such as France and very close to Germany. We are, I think, that also a talented region. We have a very high level of vocational training, universities, and also the 66% of our people has higher education, around 20 points above the average of Europe. And on entrepreneurship, we are really committed to entrepreneurship. I think that in the last 30 years, we have developed various tools to help our entrepreneurs in all the itinerary. And now we are trying to internationalize this ecosystem. And according to the other ratio, the General Entrepreneurship Monitor is telling us that it is one of the best contexts to launch and to scale a startup in all Europe.
It seems like the perfect mix and balance now of ingredients, and you've done so much, and I'm very excited. I think we're very excited to continue to work together and see where else it has to go now, because there's so much opportunity there. Maria, amiga, jefa. Jefa. So I've done about
Friends,
16.
partner.
Amiga. We've done about 16, 17 South Summits in the last 14 years in many different parts of the world, in many different ecosystems. Why Vizcaya? Why Bilbao? You know, for South Summit, what's different about this ecosystem that you've experienced?
Well, I think that first, I'm very happy to be here with you at the end of these incredible 2 days. And as you said, and afterwards Joseba said, I think we are in a very energetic place, and really I love this South Summit because it's very exclusive, it's very focused, and it's just in the place where industry and energy really goes on. And it's the place for energy because it's the region in Spain, is the region for energy and industry. Energy is industry, but I think it's important also to separate them because they are very important and much more important at this moment where the planet is so keen. No? So since the very beginning, we've always loved to partner with you, to partner with the Diputación of Vizcaya, and to work together because we've worked absolutely incredible, amazing, and how we build together all this ecosystem. And as Joseba said, they are working very hard. They are doing great, absolutely great work improving the ecosystem. They've done it by the law, by all of different kind of taxes and way than how they facilitate the ecosystem. The local one, the Spanish one, and the global one, just to be here because this is the place for industry. And beside, I love how you are absolutely convinced that how we work in this ecosystem, how we have all the entrepreneurial, not entrepreneurial, the entrepreneurial in big words, you know, just the corporates and the startups and how important it is to work together because the startup is innovation and we need innovation to answer the speed of the market. And you have absolutely visualized it and how we have to change industry just to work today and to, I insist, to answer the speed of the market. No? So I think that for us, this is an incredible encounter because it's with the people that has to be here and working together and how we find the opportunities and how we answer the market. No? And you know that always our focus is to be the most valuable network, and beside how we can really transform the economies just to answer the speed of the market and the world. So nothing better than work with you, that really you are there. And I see since the very beginning.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Maria. And in reflection as well, we've had the opportunity to work with many institutions and ecosystems around the world. And it's, I think, the agility at which you guys do things, the agility, and it's so practical. They're very practical responses to the real needs of the ecosystem is fascinating and a pleasure to work with you guys on that front. So I think we really value that. And finally, just to wrap up this edition, we've been working hard over the last couple of days. We've made a lot of rich connections, a lot of ambitious goals set. We were working on some challenges and opportunities in the building sessions that are, really, really difficult to kind of grasp, but there's so much opportunity there. They're also very enticing to start working on. For you guys as kind of overseeing the opportunity here, Joseba, I guess for you specifically, why South Summit? You have a strong, internationalized, dense, cutting-edge ecosystem here. Why South Summit, and what can we offer to the table here to kind of continue that growth, I guess, and what are you hoping for in 2025 with this addition, with this vertical?
As I told you before, I think that we have a good ecosystem on entrepreneurship, but our challenge a little bit is try to internationalize this ecosystem, and it is one of the reasons that we created BAT, Via Research Hour, to create international connections to other countries, and also within our startups can go there to internationalize their business, but also to come here different startups to do this open innovation with our companies. So not only BAT is tools. I think that South Summit is one of the best platforms to give us this. I don't know how to say it, altavoz to the world, to attract investors and to come here to know us, and I don't know if they will be here in the future.
Well, we're thrilled, thrilled and grateful that you see us in that view, no, Maria, that we can help bring Biscaya to the world and the world to Biscaya, no? And I think that's really core of what we're about. Maria, final words for your ambitions for 2025 for South Summit here in Biscaya. What are your hopes?
Well, 2025 we have just there at the door, and just want to say that this year has been amazing how the connections have been improved a lot. We have multiplied the connections for making business, and I'm also very focused. And I want to share it with all of you, very focused in revitalization, revitalizar in Spanish. Again, because it's important, we are an ecosystem that we are always moving. And if there is one word for the ecosystem is really speed. We have to answer. So for us, and we've been talking, Joseba, for us, I think for 2025, our way is moving ahead, going ahead, and working with the whole ecosystem to revitalize it, to make it grow. We want more startups, more ecosystem, because we have lots of things to answer, and we want to grow, to make them grow. We know we had years, difficult years. So now, the ones that we are convinced in the ecosystem, we have to support the ecosystem to grow. So here we'll be in Bilbao, in Vizcaya, because when you see that an organization like Diputación is supporting and is apostando a tope for the ecosystem, here we will be together, yes, to revitalize it, absolutely.
Excellent. It's wonderful to find partners that you align with, on your mission, and find ways of working creatively together. So long may it last and long may it continue. And thank you so much, Maria Joseba.
Thank you. Thank you to you.
Folks, that is a wrap.
For all of
I
you.
did promise you pinchos and chacoli abajo. We're now going to share some networking down around the corner, I think. What's the name of the restaurant? Do we know? I don't know. Come on. Achede. Okay. Follow these guys. They're the locals. They will tell you how to get there. And as Maria mentioned, we're constantly in motion. So thank you for being here. Thank you for connecting with South Summit and the Diputación de Vizcaya. We are in motion with a full European roadshow kicking off from January. Brazil from the 9th to the 11th of April, and back in Madrid, June 4th to the 6th. You are all welcome. You are all invited. One South Summit, always South Summit. So we look forward to connecting you again at another South Summit meetup. Thank you, folks. Take care.